Welcome, everyone. We're going to get going shortly. Two quick things. It is a mass-required service, which it looks like we are doing a great job of. Thing number two, if you see some empty seats in front of you, I invite you to come in a little bit closer. It'll be great to hear each other's voices.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Hi. As you come in, if you want to come sit closer, this is a very important part of Shabbat, is coming close enough that you can hear each other's voices in space. So if it is not too much trouble to relocate, to find each other, to greet each other even as we enter Shabbat. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, Shabbat Shalom. It's really nice to see you. Oh, thanks. Welcome to our friends on YouTube and Zoom. Welcome back. Wow, this has been a big week. So as we're arriving, and the good news is we have all of Kabbalat Shabbat to receive Shabbat and to come closer, right? So Shabbat is nearing, coming close to us, and we also get to come closer to Shabbat. We get to do our work, the work of not working. I just want to ground us in the power. Just as a warning, this is going to be a Shabbat where I cry a lot. And I want to just ground us in the power of what it means to be Jewish community. What it means to be a synagogue in a space where people across generations come together and breathe life, literally breathe our breath, which is our life, into the words of our tradition. And where the ancestors, both those who are present and the generations who have been teaching us, show up and say to our young people, we believe in you. And we need you. We need you. So I'm going to ask first, who here grew up at Shir Tikva? Or is growing up, Gabriel? Yeah, raise your hands proudly, please. Hi. Who here has been lucky enough to raise a human being here at Shir Tikva? And any grown-up who is in this space, whether or not you have raised children in your home, I want you to be raising your hand, because if you are a member of Shir Tikva, you have contributed to raising children. By being present in community, you have raised kids up. And Gabriel, I hope you feel that really deeply. And that you don't ever question that, okay? And for Rabbi Joey and for me, this is one of the deepest privileges of getting to be a rabbi. I hope it's okay that I'm speaking for you. Please do. Truly, to get to be inside of the growing, right, the becoming, the emerging of our tremendous and powerful young people. Yeah. And I feel very humble to be sitting next to someone who both grew up at Shir Tikva and also who has had a hand in raising so many upstart, unbelievable Shir Tikva human beings. Thank you. So, here we are at Shabbat. And we're going to have, this is going to be probably a pretty lengthy service because we have 3 teachers of Torah, so just buckle up your seatbelts. And we have a lot of singers in this space, which means I'm not going to rush through davening. Sorry. But just to say, my prayer for this night is that our prayers push this world closer to peace, closer to rebuilding, closer to a world that you can be proud of, and that we can, for even a moment this Shabbat, just feel really good in our tradition. Just feel really good at home. Okay? It might not happen all at the same time, but let's just pay attention that we don't have to work at it. We just come home. So, great. I'm already crying. It's going to be great. We're doing great. I'm going to invite our amazing confirmation students to come up to the bima and light candles. Come on up. We can all bless together on page 2. Shabbat Shalom. Let's welcome Shabbat on page 12. Lechu neranena l'Adonai Naria letzur yishenu We'll turn to page 13. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, basru miyom le'yom, Yeshuato.
Sapru v'goyim kevodo bechol ha'amim nifleotav.
Ki gadol Adonai, u'molad me'od, norahu al kol Elohim.
Ki kol Elohim ha'amim elilim v'Adonai shamayim asa.
Hod ve'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho.
ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו.
Ya'alo Sahadai v'chol asher bo, az yiranenu kol
Koatzeyah לפני אדוני, קיווה לשפוט הארץ.
Yishpot tevel v'tzedek ve'amim
באמונתו לה 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 לה.
We're turning to the last paragraph on page 17. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Oh, romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'shtachavu le'ar kodsho. Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Oh, romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. We'll turn to number 1 on your colorful sheets.
Ana v'choach gedulat yemincha, tatir tzerura, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amcha, sakveinu, tareinu nora. Ana bechoach gedulat yemincha, tatir tzerura, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amcha, sakveinu, tareinu nora.
Bye.
till I saw the earth in motion, in the winds of steady change, and in the ever-rolling ocean. Let's welcome Shabbat. We'll turn together to page 20.
Ay 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 lecha dodi oh ho ho. Ay 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 likrat kala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabelaha. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likrat kala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshi velo tikavi. Mati umatemi. Atesu aneami. Neka. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Ay Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lehayu v'shiso shozai. V'rachaku v'hamahayich. Yasi salayich Elohai. Jesus chatan al chatan. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Yahamilu smoti protzi vet Adonai Talitzi. Ayanish ben parti v'nismecha v'nagila. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likrat kala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likrat kala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Bohi v'shalom ateret b'hala. Kam besimcha uvesohala. Tochem uneham segula. Bohi chala. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Ay 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 lecha dodi. Ay 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 likakala. Ay 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekabela.
Let's turn to page 22. Mis moshim we'll sing on page 23, 6 lines up from the bottom, singing about the voices of many waters, and many of us just got rained on, so we're carrying the voices of the Geshem, of the rain coming down into our sanctuary. Mi kolot ma'im rabim, mi kolot ma'im rabim, mi kolot ma'im rabim.
We'll rise or root on page 28 as we move into our evening prayers. Ya-da-dum-ba, ya-da-ya-ya-ya-yo. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. We'll turn to page 34 for the Shema. If it's your tradition, feel free to rise. Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You can be seated. Page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 40. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדב בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, פוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. איי עלי לי, איי עלי איי, איי עלי לי, עלי איי איי, איי עלי איי, איי עלי איי, איי לי, עלי לי, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני יגאל ישראל.
We'll turn to page 42. In a moment, we'll dive in our way through the third line on this page, on page 42. These words, Hashkivenu, Ufros Aleinu, are prayers for peace. I've been thinking this week, we're in the week of the Omer, of Hod, this quality that is of right-sizedness. I like thinking about it as if you have found spiritually the perfect Tupperware container to hold whatever you're needing to hold. In turn, I'm feeling the exhaustion of moving into this week that is marking the 9th month of violence in Israel and Palestine, the exhaustion of knowing how to respond to news of violence erupting in more and more quantity. What's the right size for our activism? What's the right size for our grief? And what are the containers that are going to hold that? I don't have the answer to any of those questions other than to say the experience of singing these words together with you all over these last 9 months has been a way of calibrating my heart to approximate the container that I need. And so I'd invite us to hold our voices together in Hod, hold our voices together in trying to find our ways through this moment. Page 42. Ufros aleinu sukkah, sukkah, shalom echa. Ufros Shalom Echa
Rise and root on page 44. We'll remain standing and turn to page 46. We'll begin in song for Kavanah and then take moments in quiet for personal prayer. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru
We'll pause in our service for a moment to pray for healing. We'll use the words that you can find as number 2 on your colorful sheets. But before we get there, I'm going to take a look around the room, and feel free to say the name of anyone in your life or in our community that you're praying for today. Today, we're praying for the healing of.
So we get to welcome 3 teachers of Torah into our space tonight. 3 powerful, powerful human beings who have been inside of learning together, really deep and honest and heartfelt learning all year. And so I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves and to teach your Torah. And I'm just going to invite this community to take a moment and just preemptively, even before you've heard a word, just like sparkle out all the, because while they look very calm, this is a big old deal. So let's just take a moment and sparkle just all sorts of gratitude and belief. These amazing human beings. Okay. Yeah.
I'm a not. Are we all introducing ourselves first?
Oh, you can introduce your one at a time.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Anat.
Hi, Anat. Woohoo!
So I first want to begin with just so many thank yous to everyone. Thank you to Dave and Rabbi Ariel for guiding me through this journey of learning, both as a Jew and as a person. Thank you to Riley and Amelia for being the best confirmation classmates ever. I looked forward to Wednesday evenings every single week. Thank you to my family as well for always supporting me. And a thank you to Shir Tikva and the community for just taking me on this wonderful journey of learning the past 10 years. So for a bit of context, our class, we were the class online. So basically everyone in our class had their B mitzvahs online. And so we wanted to kind of redo our Bar Mitzvah speeches for everyone here and to show off the new things that we've learned and rewrite them. Yeah, we made a lot of edits and we basically rewrote them. We just wanted to celebrate and share our thoughts in person with everyone and to the congregation. So, for my Torah portion in Kitetse, which we find in the most boring part of Deuteronomy, there are a lot of rules. And the one common denominator is that if you break them, you get the death penalty. And I'm not talking about for murder. I'm talking about kidnapping, adultery, talking back to your parents. As I researched the history of Jews and the death penalty the first time around, I found that the Jewish community has stood against the death penalty for more than 2,000 years. As we read in Mishnah Makot 110, a Sanhedrin, the rabbinic Supreme Court, that puts a man to death once in 7 years is called a murderous one. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says, or even once in 70 years. Rabbi Tarfon and Rabbi Akiva said, if we had been in the Sanhedrin, no death sentence would ever have been passed. It's a bit presumptuous of them to say that, but I understand where they're coming from. The reason I say this is presumptuous is because it's so easy for the rabbis and for us to say that we'll do something, or that we'll stick to our morals in some way when we're not in the actual situation. True moral courage is sticking with our morals and beliefs even when it's hard. For example, Miri Rabinowitz, wife of Jerry Rabinowitz, who was murdered at Tree of Life, wrote a letter and urged prosecutors to accept a plea in honor of her late husband's blessed memory and his deep and abiding opposition to the death penalty. That was a key point I made in my original speech about how despite her grief, she held fast to her morals. I don't know how many of you read the news, but the Tree of Life shooter ended up being sentenced to death, especially after calls for the death penalty from other survivors and victims' relatives. I acutely remember thinking, well, this didn't age well, when I read the news. I thought that meant the points made in my original speech were null and invalid or wrong. I was embarrassed about what I had written. But during this year, I realized that I couldn't have been more wrong for thinking that. Two key parts of Judaism are questioning everything, as I'm sure you all know, but I would argue that the other is being uncomfortable. Uncomfortable with the world, with the Torah, with our beliefs. Discomfort brings forth change. Sitting in our discomfort, wrestling and reckoning with it, is an integral part of growth, both as a Jew and as a human being. And so my guiding question tonight is this: how do we relate to core values in moments of crisis? It's hard to imagine making the case for executing the Tree of Life shooter as holding fast to our moral values. But as someone who hasn't faced such a loss, who am I to pass judgment? I can only speak from my experiences. Those experiences and my religious learning have led me to believe that forbearance, or holding back from our instinctive feelings in times of crisis, is one of the bravest and strongest things a person can do. Sitting in that moment of forbearance or pause causes us deep discomfort. But it is this discomfort that prompts action. This discomfort is what teaches us the most about ourselves. Both the forbearance and the discomfort that comes with it can also lead one to discern what it truly means to hold on to your values in times of crisis. This pause gives us time to catch our breath and heal. When we pause in moments of crisis, we first must distinguish between grief and anger. When the lines blur, there is only more grief to come from it. When we jump straight to anger, to hate, to vengeance, it stays with us. Anger like that, and the actions one takes in anger, in the name of vengeance, will haunt you, and it never leaves. It creates wounds you can't heal from. So what does it look like for us to hold on to our values in the moments of crisis we're in? I don't expect that every Jew in this community or any other will agree on what that looks like. But I think it means sitting with it, sitting with all of it. The grief, the fury, the pain, the sadness, and the hope. Letting that discomfort engulf us, living in that discomfort. So I'm not here to tell you what to do with that discomfort. Maybe you protest, maybe you talk, maybe you educate, maybe you're still figuring it out. But I hope you remember that lasting change doesn't feel comfortable or easy at first. So let yourself hurt, let yourself feel uncomfortable, and then let that discomfort and pause guide you to your morals. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
I'm just going to invite us, yes to all of the feelings of, explosive desires to applaud, but I'm just going to invite us to either sit in it or just go shh or yasher koach, just to be able to hold this prayerful and beautiful space. Yasher koach, I'm not.
Okay. My name is Amelia. In I had 2 portions, Bahara and Mahukatai, which actually is this week, which is kind of crazy. There in Bahara and Mahukatai, there are a lot of rules, lots and lots of rules. But the part that stood out to me is when God says that we must fear them 3 different times. In the whole Torah, we are only told to fear God 5 times, which seems like very little considering that 3 out of 5 of them are in my portion. There are many different reasons God may say to fear them, but to start off, I should explain the differences between Hebrew fear and English fear. Along with the emotions you may conjure when envisioning fear, the Hebrew definition adds words like awestruck, hope, and amazement. The pure vastness of what it means to fear in this sense brings a whole new meaning of fearing God. In 2021, when I wrote my Bat Mitzvah speech, fear felt like a way to see how much power we have as an individual and as a community, and to be fueled to use our power. I wrote then, we need to be scared of the power we currently have. Without being afraid and scared, I don't think we can truly see how much power we have to use. But something I failed to mention, something I've learned in the 3 years since, is that we can't let fear of our power be the reason we wait. I was trying to write a piece encouraging a group to notice each other and grow together, but what I've learned is that all it takes is 1. Every moment starts with 1. Every change starts with 1. And it's necessary that the individual harness their fear to be in the process of change. As I've learned through our organizing efforts and my own, fear like this is important. Fear through a lens of organizing means noticing the issues that need changing, being aware of how big the power structures against you are, and knowing that the future will be impacted if you don't act. Fear in this way can be harnessed and built off of. It is no longer a looming monster, but becomes a tool to notice and work off of. I have been able to use this fear in many ways in my Jewish adulthood. The first way that comes to mind is in Palestine and Israel, and how, as a Jewish youth, I realized how little I knew and how much I wanted to learn about Palestine and Israel. Fear taught me how to make a choice about what my values are and what that means about how I present myself as a Jewish youth in combination with a generally anti-war youth. This fear showed up for me initially through discomfort, safety concerns, and a general sense of smallness, but I quickly saw that I can turn that fear into advocacy. On a closer note to home, in physical miles, I also think of how I learned that incredible amounts of money from my school this year were being cut, and how our teachers and programs would not be the same. I used my fear of our crumbling school system to say that it is not okay that this is not okay, and that our education is a necessity. I used this fear to research and find the root causes of the inadequate funding of public schools, and I intend to use my fear to launch a campaign in partnership with Take Action Minnesota to improve and revive our schools. Although my ideas of fear and the opportunities it creates have not changed too much in the past 2 years, the experiences I have to back up my claim has intensified greatly. This lens I now see the world through could not have happened without my Jewish education to teach me the empowerment of fear and the many ways in which I can use it. It also couldn't have happened without our confirmation classes, weekly gatherings, meditations, and discussions. These classes with Dave, Rabbi Ariel, Anat, and Riley have been so important to me as the midweek grounding to get me through the end of the week with a positive mental attitude, as well as leaving space for things I wanted to learn and talk about. For that, I'd like to thank my classmates Anat and Riley, who consistently showed up even through our small numbers, and Dave and Rabbi Elchak Rosenberg for creating a space for us to grow, learn, and truly be ourselves. Thank you.
Hi. Like the rabbi, I'm probably gonna cry, so yeah. I'm so proud of you both, oh my God. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. God. Okay. I'm Riley. Hi. Thank you. When I had my bar mitzvah in the fall of 2020, I had a very different idea of the world than the idea I hold now. As a 7th grader whose entire life had just been shut down by a strange new virus, it was very hard to comprehend a lot of the ancient text I was reading in my Torah portion, Bereshit. For those who don't know, this is the text which recounts Adam and Eve's endeavors in the Garden of Eden, and the text in which Eve commits what many believe to be the first original sin, eating fruit from a forbidden tree after being convinced by a snake to take it. In my bar mitzvah speech, I primarily focused on the snake of the Garden of Eden and its relationship to Eve. I was intrigued by how easily Eve was swayed by the snake's ideas, and eventually came to the conclusion that the snake was simply a metaphor for the more mischievous or rebellious nature that lies inside of all humans. Although throughout the speech I talked a lot about how Eve, aided by the metaphorical rebel snake of her mind, would stand up for the multitude of oppressed groups in America were she alive today, I never talked about how she might see her own oppression as a woman, whether she was living in modern-day society or in the Garden of Eden. As I reread my speech, I began to question whether Eve's actions were really a result of pure rebellion, or more so a result of her rage at the way she had been treated by Adonai. Let me explain. In the story, Eve is never explicitly told by Adonai to not eat the fruit of the forbidden tree. Instead, Adonai tells Adam to not eat from the tree, and later Adam relays this message to Eve after God forms her from his rib. Perhaps Eve, realizing God told Adam explicitly not to eat the fruit, but didn't bother to give the instructions directly to her, became angry at the fact that she was being treated unfairly. As the second human created, she already feels like a second fiddle to Adam, and this betrayal by Adonai confirms it. So what can she do? She rebels. Adonai never told her explicitly not to eat the fruit, so why shouldn't she? If she is not deemed important enough by Adonai to receive direct orders, then why, in turn, should anything Adonai says be deemed important by her? She goes against orders she willingly knows are unfair, not out of a desire for mischief, but out of spite to the condition that she has been placed in, and she is punished for it. In many ways, Eve's situation parallels those of women's today, in that she, in this story, is used as a scapegoat for a problem that she didn't entirely create. She was blamed for ending her and Adam's prosperous time in the garden, even though her actions were mostly a result of what she saw as Adonai's neglect. In a similar way, many women and other people from marginalized groups are often blamed for the systemic silencing and violence they experience in the present era, despite this oppression largely being a result of an unfair and corrupt power structure based on archaic roles of gender, class, and race. In rereading my speech, I became aware of similarities Adonai appears to draw to many modern-day oppressive and patriarchal forces. God in Bereshit represents the embodiment of knowledge and power, expertly puppeteering their own brand new creation, the universe, and the beings that live within it. In many ways, the same can be said for the way systemic forces, including systems of patriarchy, racism, and poverty, exist in our world, albeit on a smaller, more human-sized scale. The universe they command is the lives of the people who live in our society. One question came to my mind as I reread the speech. How could Adonai, our God, share a role which eerily parallels present systems of oppression? To be honest with you, I have no answers to this question. I believe that Adonai is not and cannot be a force that willingly oppresses and ignores people, including Eve, in the same way our own government oppresses and ignores marginalized groups. However, I also refuse to retell the lie that Adonai in this story was not flawed, and I refuse to give Eve the burden of the shame for condemning herself and by extension her ancestors, the human race, to be dismissed from Eden. What I have learned between my entrance to Jewish adulthood and now is simple. Do not believe in everything you are told. Shir Tikva taught me to question deeply not just my own role in the world, but also the role of Talmud, Torah, and many other Jewish teachings along with their vitality when given the context of modern issues. I have learned to question systems which harm people I love and which silence untold numbers of pained voices aching for change. I have learned to keep searching for answers even when I am silenced by those who claim to value my voice. I have learned to strip even the very nature of God down to the bone, and I have learned to do it publicly and repeatedly until I finally receive the respect which me, Eve, and billions upon billions of people deserve to be given in the first place. The questions I have asked this year have shaped and changed my beliefs, and will continue to change them until the day I die. I will hold thanks for Shir Tikva, for teaching me to have the courage to not just interrogate the world, but also myself for the rest of my life.
Okay, so I need to show you the people on Zoom. Those with cameras on are like dance partying. They were and they will again if we wait. They're on delay, we're asynchronous, but they were like all of them dancing for you. Oh, there they are. They're dancing again. In just a moment, we're going to use the words of our tradition to bless you, to bless the community, and then I'm going to invite our Zoomers. Oh, they're really dancing now. I'm going to invite our Zoomers to pour down blessing. Usually it's sort of like blessing in general, but I'm going to invite our Zoom blessers to focus tonight, to focus blessings on, this is going to be uncomfortable for you, but the three of you and through you, your generation that has absorbed a lot. And you three beloved, luminous humans who stand in spirit tonight and teach us, and who have turned to each other for support again and again, and for wisdom and for grounding. I hope that you're able to open yourself and receive those blessings, because you are also givers of so much blessing, okay? So let yourself receive blessing without worrying about just let it come in, and just know that part of what you get to do in your life and what you're already doing is spreading that blessing out, okay? So we're going to sing. You're going to receive blessing. At the end of that, can I hear a rustling in the room? Oh, that is such a reassuring rustle. So These three have been showering each other with candy all year long because they didn't get showered with candy at their bar mitzvahs, which is a shanda. And so I'm going to give you the order because now that you're wrestling, you're too excited. So here's the order: singing, Zoom blessings, then candy. Don't hit the rabbis and Dave.
They deserve candy too.
Oh my goodness. All right. Hamalach hagoel oti, Hamalach hagoel oti mikol ra, yevarech et hanearim, vaykarev ahem shemi, v'shem avotai, v'shem avotai, Avraham ve'Yitzchak, ve'yirgul harov, ve'yirgul harov bekerev haaretz. Yesimchem Elohim kesara, kerivka, kerachel uchelea, כפריים וכמנשה, יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. יללי, יללי, יללי. Yalalai, 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 ay lai lai, ay yalalai, yalai lai, lai lai, yalai, ay lai. May the wisdom of these wise humans inspire all of us to use our fear for action, to question ourselves and to learn from each other. May we always be blessed with humans like the three we just learned from. May youth always have a voice in our community, and may we listen and take our cues from them. May these brave hearts continue to teach us with their voices and their thoughts. May you keep wrestling and writing and coming back to yourselves, to share tikva and to our tradition, and sharing your wisdom with all of us. May we be blessed to tell old stories in new ways. May you continue to turn and return to our tradition and its texts with the heart and brilliance you demonstrated tonight. We are very lucky you are in our midst. May we take hold and remember the power of the words blessed and taught to us by these incredible souls. May our youth continue to gain and distribute wisdom. May we all be comfortable that we have a new generation who is taking up the work of Tikkun Olam. May you never lose your idealism in the face of cynicism. May you trust your visions of the world as it is and as it should be. May you continue to find strength from sharing your thoughts. You go. May we come back to Torah we learned from years past and re-examine these lessons in context of our current world. May all of you amazing humans continue to inspire and give hope to our community. May you keep lighting a fire under us all. May you continue to trust, reflect on, and fortify your discernment, no matter what it tells you. May we always respect and listen to teens, children, and even babies. May the big feelings be signs for what we want or need. May you never feel abandoned. May we question what we're told. I'm just going to invite us in the room. Usually it's just a cavalcade. Let's take a moment and find the blessings in our hearts. And we're just going to call them out. It will be an incredible cacophony, and what a joy that is. So let's take a moment and find our blessing. tonight we're blessing you with. Be brave. Be strong.
May you believe yourselves and be believed by others.
Yehi Ratzon. So let us confirm these confirmation students with a shower of candy. Sivan Tova, Mazel Tova, Mazel Tova, Sivan Tova, Sivan Tova, Mazel Tova, Mazel Tova, Sivan Tova, Sivan Tova, Mazel Tova, Mazel Tova, Sivan Tova. Yeilanu,
That's not fair.
Mazal tov. Mazal tov.
Anyone who's feeling young at heart, feel free to pick up some candy.
I'm gonna ask someone on Zoom, please copy and paste the blessings and send them to me so I can get those blessings to our confirmation students. So I'm gonna be honest and say, maybe this is just something we never learned at Hebrew College, but I actually have no idea why we do confirmation. It's not in Torah. It's not in Mishnah. Confirmation is something very, very recent. And I don't totally understand it other than it's like the end of Hebrew school. But what I want to say to you is you have just taught us why we do confirmation, right? You in your wisdom and in holding your power and offering yourselves and your Torah to us, you have just opened this community up. So thank you. Thank you for making this space whole because you're here. And I would just like to confirm on behalf of Dave, who is probably out crying, and myself, that we would like to confirm that you keep coming back to learn with us because it's been so amazing. And teach us, my God. So let's take a breath. My goodness. We are going to count the Omer, and then we're going to conclude our service. How does that feel? Okay, let us rise. We'll do that. Do you know what? I always know. Yeah, oh my goodness. Rabbi Joey and I are very challenged by the Siddur, and we never know where anything is. If anyone knows where the counting of the Omer is. If not, we're just going to sing. We're just going to... Okay, great. We're just going to sing.
278.
Rabbi Joey, everyone. Oh my God. Is there anything you can't do? Page 278. Leshem yichud kuchabrichu shchintei hineni mochana umzumenet lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer תשעה ושלושים יום, שהם חמישה שבועות וארבעה ימים לעומר. This is the 39th day of the Omer, which makes it, by my counting, 5 weeks and 4 days of the Omer. Look at us go. Okay, as we're already standing, I'm going to invite us to continue with Aleinu, which is found on page 284.
We'll move in the direction of Mourner's Kaddish, which you can find on page 294. I'll read a list of names of folks in this community or in our lives that have died in the last 30 days, and then people who have died on the anniversary of this year, at the anniversary of this time in past years. I'd invite you, if you hear the name of someone you know, feel free to raise your hand. We'll come and find you with a microphone if you'd like to share just a sentence or two of story about the person. Tonight, we're remembering Chelsea De Pasquale Hunton, godchild of Mary Asha Katz. We're in the yard site, the anniversary of the death of Robin Berkowitz Alvarez, Shay Berkowitz's sister, Molly Axler, Lisa Brownstein's grandmother, Leonard Berkowitz, Shay Berkowitz's father, Ken Cooper, Elaine Ruddick's brother, Barton Cottle, Richard Cottle's son, Nina Cottle, Richard Cottle's mother, Milton Fitchman, Andrea Rubenstein's father, Leslie Firth, Barry Epstein's sister-in-law, Sam Gershon, Steve's grandfather, Robert Goldstein, Devorah's father, Seth Harrison, Amy Michael's father, Marcy D. Gronfeld, Richard's mother, Beatrice Moustone, Jenna Moustone's grandmother, Frances Posnack, Peter Berman's sister, Max Rosenthal, Nancy Abramson's grandfather, Saul Schlossberg, Jeff Schlossberg's father, Eileen Silver, Laura's mother, LeVarn Snetting, Donna's father, Henry Lorenzi Sojourner, Aaron's father, Sidney Spire, Jody's father, Ozzie Stern, Mike's father, Shirley Swerdlock, Deborah Godlackson's mother and beloved memory of Shir Tikva.
So, this is my sister. Our mother loved music. She loved music. And I didn't really know how much she loved music till the last years of her life, when she was in memory care and she kept winning all the memory bingo games. And so they started making her play with the people who are not in memory care because it wasn't fair anymore. So, and anyway, we miss her.
Yeah, Dad was Ozzie Stern, and a child of New York, and a career probation and parole officer, and was very liberal, though. He was very anti-death penalty, some will be happy to know. But if he were doing the pre-sentence investigation on the most recent convict from New York, all right, death penalty is too much, but maybe some jail time, Dad, please? Anyway, I know.
Roman Taylor, Sally Lieberman's father and Hannah Lieberman's grandfather. Norman Werson, Ellen Werson's father. Margie Yancey, Sam Forsythe's grandmother. Are there any other names folks would like to bring forward? You can find the words of Kaddish on page 294. I'll invite folks to rise in body or spirit. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma, Dirach, Yirute, Ve'amlich Malchute, V'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uchaye, Dechol, Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ubizman Kari, V'imru, Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Leolam Omei Omaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitale V'yithalal Shemei Tukucha Berechu Ela Minko Birchata V'shirata Tush Bechata V'nechemata Damiram Be'alma V'yimru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'imramav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen.
And we open the circle of remembering and mourning even bigger as we sing Oseh Shalom, making space in our community for all those who have died in Gaza, in Israel, Palestine, holding open our hearts as this violence continues. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, imru, amen. You may be seated. Wonderful Julie Jacobs, would you come up to the bima for a moment? Hi.
I would be happy to do that. This isn't on the announcements. I'm Julie Jacobs, and I just want to say, Anat, Amelia, and Riley, you've heard of mic drop? Well, if I hadn't been wearing my mask, you would have seen jaw drop because of the brilliance of what you shared. I am so moved and so impressed. I have no other words. Thank you for being with us tonight. Oh, I do have other words. I'm going to be carrying candy around with me, and every time I see you, I'm going to shower you with it because you didn't get it for your bat mitzvahs. Okay, yes. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's such a joy to be together. At the end of the service, please return your prayer books to the usher table and separate your song sheets. Mazel tov to Selah Chorus on becoming B Mitzvah. Thank you to all of those who made tonight possible, Rabbis Ariel and Joey, Gordon, Eric, the Makom Minion, me, and Lori Sweet. Thank you to our Shomrim Security for your steady presence, and thank you to the Kunli, Price, Freilich, Bechtel, and Teichman families for hosting tonight's Oneg in honor of Selah Chorus becoming B Mitzvah. Find all of our Shir Tikva programming updates in our weekly e-news. We're offering childcare on the first Shabbat of each month. Our adult ed season for summer launches next week with classes with our dear intern Jace on Jewish law. To register, look at the e-news. Shavuot is coming. We will be learning, singing, and eating cheesecake all night from June 11th into June 12th. Register through your e-news. Next week, Shabbat service will be a mask-recommended service. If this isn't a best fit for you, please join us on Zoom. A reminder that your community is here to support you, so please reach out to the rabbis if you encounter a life change so they can activate the Shir Tikva network of support. Shabbat Shalom.
Amazing. There's so much going on. This Sunday also is a conversation on queer aging here in the sanctuary. So if you're interested to share stories. No? Oh, just kidding. Not here. Don't listen to this. But it's happening on Sunday. The information's on our website and in the e-news. Please attend if that feels relevant to you. We're so excited about this conversation. But it's not here. But it is on Sunday. God. How's that for a confidence-inducing announcement? Yay! All right. We're going to bless. Will you come back up and we're going to bless some grape juice and challah? You can find the words of the Naomi, will you come up also? We have an amazing... Naomi just graduated from college, everyone. Will you come up too? Sydney, come up. Yes, that's right. We have a lot of attorneys. Yay.
You all can find the words of the bracha for wine on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu mitzvotav v'ratzah banu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit. Ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu b'charta, v'otanu kidashta, im kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava u'b'ratzon, kinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim, you can take a little sip. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, v'te'avon. We'll close in song, and then we'll meet each other out for some conversation in the Onekal.
Yambara ya ya ya, yambara ya ya da da ya da, yambara ya yamba, yamba ya da ya, yambara ya yamba, yambara ya ya da da, yambara ya yamba, yamba ya da da, yamba, yamba yamba ya da da, yamba yamba ya da da, yamba yamba ya da da, yamba ya da da, yamba. Yamba yamba ya ya da, yamba yamba ya da da, yamba ya da da, ya 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 da da.